Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. You probably know this already. My name's Michelle. If you couldn't tell by, the name, welcome. I see we already have some people here. Hi. Thanks for coming on by. The chat, I'm sure, is a little delayed, so I may or may not see your chat right away. But I will try to say hello if you chat in there. That's the whole purpose of this because I have a whole lot of people that I don't know now subscribe to my channel, which is just insane. Can I just say, like, absolutely insane and exciting. Um, and I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to get to know each other. So, hello. Hi, Pro Janitor. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on by. um, so, I thought during this stream I could do a couple of things. I want to talk about what I've been doing this last month, why I haven't been really posting a whole lot of content, and what I'm planning to do moving forward, and just tell you about an event that's going to be happening next week, which I'm really excited about. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. So, let's start with where I have been. Where have I been? I think I've posted 2 videos this whole month or something, maybe 3. And I'm sure you guys are like, what the heck? Where's your content? I subscribe to this channel and there's no new content. The thing is, I've been working on a new novel. So I right now am writing like crazy all day, every day when I'm not working, trying to finish a final draft of a novel that I've been working on since 2016. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, it is a sci-fi dystopian kind of novel that takes place in the far future, like 250 years from now, and is really jam-packed full of action, and it's fun. And my plan moving forward is to start having more content regularly, hopefully a couple of videos a week, and just continue to make content. I have just been really busy trying to write that I have not wanted to edit any of the videos that I have recorded. I have recorded probably, guys, too many videos that it's a little overwhelming when I think about how much editing I have to do. But I'm really excited because I just bought a new computer and I just bought a new desk this last weekend. So pretty soon I'm going to be able to just power down and edit because I'm almost done writing my novel. And once I'm done doing that, I'm going to take a break from writing it and I'm going to get into really just making regular content because I do want to have regular videos coming out. More than just, what makes this type awesome, which are just like easier videos to film. I want to have interesting content come out as well. That's maybe not something that you've seen before, maybe a little bit more interesting. Hey, Cedric, how's it going? Okay. What are the main themes of my novel? Well, this first novel is the first of 6 in a series, and this particular novel is about consumerism and corporate, just capitalism in general, as well as just finding your own. How do I put this? It's about like figuring out what's morally correct in a world where everything is morally gray. So it's just kind of trying to navigate a moral code when it's really hard to do so because the right thing is bad and the bad thing is bad and good, and so it's really hard to figure out which thing to do when both are good and both are bad. So oh, yay. Hello. Welcome, guys. Yeah, that video was a lot of fun because I was just being myself. I showed that video to Tim, my boyfriend, and he was just like, he didn't think it was funny at all because he was like, this is what you do all the time. But I thought it was pretty great. I was really proud of that video, actually. I'm glad you liked it, and I'm glad you could relate. Yeah, exactly. It's an emphasis on introspection and figuring out what's the right thing to do. Um, so It's deep, but there's just a lot of action and a lot of really interesting stuff and a lot of like backstabbing and interesting stuff happening like that. So I'm excited about it. It's gonna be really cool, and hopefully I'll be releasing, some beta reading opportunities pretty soon for that in the next like 6 months or so is when I hope to do that. Um, my goal is for March, but I'm an ENFP, so yes, actually, the 6 books are technically in chronological order. However, I do tell the story from multiple perspectives, and not all of the perspectives take place in the present moment with the main character. So, like with our main character, we're mostly staying in chronological order. However, with some of the side characters, it gets a little bit more into the past, so it's kind of all over. Universally preferable behavior. I mean, intuitively, I can kind of guess what that means, but I have not actually heard that term before. So in the next few months, I'm hoping to post more videos like the ENFP, what they actually do, the shit that ENFPs do video. Excuse me, I cussed. I hope you guys don't mind. And then I'm going to try to do some of the other types. I want to like actually learn what it's like to be some of the other types, which leads me to an exciting announcement for what's coming next week. So, this last month, I have been working with this guy who is an ISTP, and we've been talking a lot and trying to really break down what TI is so that I can understand it as somebody who is not very good with my introverted thinking. um, and I am very excited to announce that next Saturday we're going to be doing a live stream, the both of us, and we're going to be talking about what it's like to be an ISTP, and we're going to kind of compare ISTP and ENFP, which are two types that no one ever compares, but we have a lot more in common than you might think. So I think it's going to be really exciting. His name's Dave, and we're going to be doing that this time next week. So I'm really excited about that. Stay tuned for that. I'll make more posts about it. But I'm really excited because I think it's going to be a very interesting video. He's a very interesting guy, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't know very much about ISTPs. So if you're watching this after it's streamed, go ahead and let me know, what you want to hear about ISTPs. And if you're watching right now and have any questions for ISTPs for me to ask during this live video, if maybe you won't be able to make it, now's your chance to go ahead and let me know. um, yes, ISTPs are nice. There's a misconception, I think, that they're not, but I really enjoy them. Oh, okay. So you live around, I mean, you work around some of the like classic stereotypical ISTP kind of dealio. That's cool. I don't work with very many ISTPs. I was a trainer for a while at my job, and so I had a lot of different people in my classes. I got to meet a lot of different personalities, and I had one ISTP in one of my classes, and it was very hard for me to teach what she needed to be able to understand the concepts and stuff. But overall, ISTPs are cool. I just don't work with as many because my job is like an extrovert's job. It's like sales, so um, we tend to have a lot of ENFJs, a lot of like ESFPs, ENFPs, ISFJs, ESFJs. We just have a lot of like the feeling type people at my job, just because of the nature of it being sales and stuff. Yes, I love INTJs. I think there's such a great synergy between the two of our types. I mean, that's why I made a whole video about it, but I really like INTJs. I think it would be awesome to have one in my family, but I don't. I have a lot of feelers in my family, so yep, a lot of good conversations to be had. They are really childlike, and they get bored easily, and they wanna try new things all the time. They just really keep to themselves unless they trust you and they like you. Have I taken the Big 5? Yes. Um, what were my scores, though? That's a little bit more difficult. I don't think I saved the scores. Openness is really high. Neuroticism is pretty low. Assertiveness is like in between. I'm a little higher than average on assertiveness, but not like I'm not like ENTJ assertive, and then or ESTP assertive, and then what's the other one? I can't remember. What's the fifth one? Oh, welcome, Ian. Congratulations on coming to your first live stream. That's exciting. I think live streams are fun. I just haven't done them in a while. I used to do them like every weekend. Uh, and I just got tired of doing so often. But I would like to do some more now that it's starting to get colder. I don't want to leave my house anymore. So hopefully I'll be doing some more. Oh, an INTJ and a ENFP wife. That sounds great. I know. I don't know if you know Lijo, uh, but she is an INTJ and her husband's an ENFP. Yeah, Cedric, you bring up a really good point, and this is something that I've been thinking about a lot too lately. Is when we talk so much about types as these letters, we start to lose the human aspect of who they are, and it starts to become a little bit like a religion. Um, and actually, Tim makes fun of us all the time for being like a religion. But I thought about making a video about that actually. Um, but it's hard because we want to understand people, we want to understand how they think, and at the same time, we end up pigeonholing people in a way that's unfair. It makes it hard for us to see the ways that they are unique and maybe not like a specific type. So, yeah, I I try to keep it to a bare minimum at work and just express YouTube is the only place where I really express my obsession with MBTI, and if I can maybe get a coworker to talk about it, I'll be like, "Yes, let's talk forever." Um, but overall, I try not to be too excessive with it, which is part of why I wanna have more content that's not MBTI related coming up pretty soon because I'm feeling like there's too much MBTI content and I'm not being enough true to myself. So I'm trying to have more interesting videos coming up. I'm going to be doing some that are like a bit aggressive because I get very, very excitable and I get very passionate when I'm talking about things that I really care about. And I've filmed a couple of videos that I'm pretty excited to share with you guys, but they're a little bit intense. And they're not personality related, so they'll probably come out, like, on a Friday and be, like, a philosophical Friday, like, getting your mind going and starting to think about these ideas. Um, it'll be it'll be a little bit different from what you're used to seeing, but I think it'll be really, really exciting. Oh, it's extroverted, introverted. How did I forget about that one? I'm, in between on the extroverted, on the big 5. I'm kinda, like, right in between. Not terribly extroverted, but not terribly introverted. And depending on who you ask, some people think I'm an introvert and some people think I'm an extrovert, so it all really depends. But I can talk forever, so if that's what an extroverted is if that's what an extrovert is, then that is me because I could literally talk for actual hours. Yeah, so what I'd honestly like to see is a bit of a shift in the MBTI community, where we focus more on the personal self-development aspect of MBTI and less on the typing aspect. But what everyone wants to do is the typing. And when you're new in MBTI, that makes a lot of sense because you want to understand how to recognize the types. But really, ultimately, what it should be about is learning what's wrong with you and how to fix it and how to make yourself better. And there's a lot of controversy as to whether or not making yourself better is, working on your weaknesses or working on your strengths. And I think that it's about balancing out your ability to use all the cognitive functions instead of just being, pigeonholed to your personality type, like letting yourself learn how to use these other functions. Like me, I'm trying to right now work on my introverted thinking and really have a personal understanding of the world and really focus on understanding the logic of things rather than and like coming to my own conclusions rather than trusting what other people say so often. Yes. I actually really like objective personality, and the guy who's coming onto my channel next week, he is really big into objective personality. And so when we're going to be talking about ISTP, we're going to be using a lot of OP terminology during that discussion. We're not going to do it so much where it's just like you have to know their system in order to follow what we're saying. We're just going to use some of the bigger terms like the animals and maybe masculine and feminine so we can kind of describe what it's like for him as an ISTP and for me as an ENFP. Though I'm not 100% sure what my type is in the OP system, I'm between two different types. I mean, I'm still an ENFP in their system, but I'm either NETE, so play first, or NEFI, consume first. I don't know. I haven't decided, but I don't know if I ever will, but it's fun to think about. So, do you guys want to ask me anything or learn anything about me? I don't know. I just wanted to like come say hi to you guys. Just celebrate the fact that there are just so many of you guys following my channel right now. It's insane. I thought it'd be only fair that you guys could ask me some questions, maybe things that I don't talk about on my channel, or maybe why I don't talk about certain things on my channel, or, you know, request things that you want me to talk about on my channel. You know, now's the time while you have me. Why am I not watching college football? What's wrong with me? I don't like most sports, so basketball's okay, but I don't watch it. Like, I'm not gonna follow any sport teams. I do actually watch some esports. It's nice to talk to you guys too. There's just so many of you guys that I've never met, and it's just really nice to be able to interact with you guys one-on-one. I mean, it's not really one-on-one, but you know, it's different than me commenting under your comments in a video. Like, I can respond real time to what you guys have to say. And you guys can see how all over the place I am. I edit the crap out of my videos to get rid of my lack of ability to stay on topic. What are some of my favorite esports? I really like League of Legends, actually. I think it's like, it reminds me of chess a lot, except where all the pieces change all the time. So it's like advanced chess. The board is always the same, but the players are different. And it's all about hitting the objectives and eventually kind of checkmating by getting the nexus down. I think it's a lot of fun to watch, and it takes a lot of strategy to really succeed at League of Legends, which is why America's not doing good at League of Legends right now, because we want to just kill things. You know, we play too much Call of Duty, and it shows in our League of Legends skills that we as a people play too much Call of Duty. Yeah, League of Legends is cool too because there's a lot of backstory to each character and it's all interwoven. It's very interesting. Have I thought about streaming on Twitch? I don't know if you guys would want to watch me play. I'm not good. I am not good at playing any video game. I thought about making a video showing you guys how bad I actually am at video games. I thought that could be pretty funny. Or a video making fun of girl Twitch streamers, because, you know, girl Twitch streamers tend to not be very, I guess I could, you know, fall on that bandwagon like all the Twitch girls do. Twitch is a nice escape to you, or what is? I'm sorry. Yeah, League of Legends is becoming like more of a fighting game and less of a strategy game, but I prefer it when it's more strategy based. Yeah, gaming is fun. My favorite game is Horizon Zero Dawn. Have you guys played that game? I have played it too many times. I love that game so much. There's just so many things to learn about the history of the world that Horizon Zero Dawn takes place in, and the play style is my kind of style where you can use the bow and arrow a lot. You can fight people from a distance. You can take advantage of the game mechanics so you never get hurt. Um, I really like that game. It's just so much fun. And it's beautiful. Like I could just roam around the world for like 2 hours in that game and never get bored. I love it so much. What about you guys? What are your favorite games to play? I've not actually played World of Warcraft, but I don't think it's very similar because it's not the same play style at all. Oh, stop it. What other games have I played? Uh, I can play League of Legends, and I played a lot of games when I was a kid, like Tekken and stuff. But, oh, I played Portal 2. I like Portal 2. That's a good game. That one's fun. I like strategy like that. Oh, Minecraft. I have never played Minecraft. I don't know what it is about that game, but it kind of, I think it's like the design in general that just kind of like everything's all square and doesn't look natural. And there's just something about that I don't like. I don't know why. It's just aesthetically, I guess. I don't like it that much. I should give it a try. I guess that's only fair. Well, okay, sorry. I used the wrong word. Puzzle, not strategy. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat purring right now. What is ray tracing? Sorry, I have to wait for you guys to respond. So, do, 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 do. This cat, I don't know if you guys can hear her, but she is purring like crazy right now. Oh, I see. A new graphics technology. That's cool. Oh, they don't sell it yet? Oh, that's disappointing. I VR is something that I'm of two minds of because there's a part of me that wants to really like it, and there are aspects of it that I do really like. Um, but at the same time, it's just it's just not good enough for what it wants to do. So I don't like where it's at right now, but I like where it's trying to go, I guess I would say. That's just my biased opinion on VR. Ooh. Timmy's building an insane computer right now. Like, actually insane. It's exciting. Exciting stuff. I wish you guys could see my kitty right now. She's being so cute, but I have to hold her up so high that she loses her cuteness. Sorry, there is a delay in the chat, so if you guys have said something, I'm just waiting for it to come through. Her name is Luna. She's super sweet. You guys have probably seen her in, half of my videos lately, just jumping on my face. Okay, that's a great question, Mike. So, Mike is asking, what's the difference between the play ENFPs and the consume ENFPs in the David's Chance OP system of typology? Basically, um, any TE is very, tinkerer focused, kind of think of an NT type person. They're going to be focused on things and tinkering with things and trying to improve systems and inventing and being more on the like hands-on side, being more inventive. Um, and the consume lead ENFP is going to be um, a little bit more on the moral side, a little bit more wanting to talk about those kind of things, wanting to play around with those kind of ideas, and wanting to take in a whole lot of new information about um, whatever they're interested in. So I mean, it's hard. I feel like I'm both too. So I've been struggling to figure it out. But it's possible to have both animals in your top two. So you could be consume play or you could be play consume. It's all very difficult for me to tell the difference because um I've never actually studied their system. I just watch their videos, but I would like to eventually study their system more. Um this picture right here or that picture? The one in the family, but the one in the family is actually a picture of me from when I was in like second grade. And I put some pictures of my friends over top of it because I didn't want to seem like vain that I have a picture of my second grade self up on my bookshelf. So I covered it up with some pictures of my friends. And then the painting, I actually painted for a video that my friend was going to do. You guys know Love Lou probably. Many of you probably follow Love Who's channel, but Lou, I had filmed a video where I made that drawing so that she could make a voiceover and do a video for that. It didn't end up happening, but I still have the picture, and I thought it was cute, so I put it on my wall. Thanks. Hi. How are you, Sihan? It's nice to see you. Yes. She and I met up in March, and I've been on her channel a couple of times. She is a great person, and Nathan is a great person. People think you're super thirsty all the time. Tell me you are not meaning what I think you're meaning. Oh, that's funny, Mike. You just leave the picture of the family in there. That's awesome. Do you guys want to see what I looked like as a second grader? I just might as well show you. Because why not? I have it here. Might as well share with you guys what I look like. Here's my second grade self. Can you see it? Aren't I adorable? Look at that face, just like pure innocence there. What do I actually like Eric from Talking with Famous People. I don't watch him all the time anymore because, all his content is pretty much, along the same lines, which is like his thing. He's just trying to really understand the system and really get like 100% understanding. So that'll be a like continual, never-ending trek for him to go down. But I do like him overall. I think he's a little bit prickly of a person, but if you can get past the prickliness, I think he's pretty cool. I mean, he can say some things that are a little bit arrogant that I'm just like, you did not. But you know, we all have things that we could be better at, or be better people. You know, that's an interesting thing to think about is the difference between ENFP guys and ENFP girls. Um, because the way that flirty is being interpreted for male versus female is really different. So, like, the way that ENFP girls are flirty is like really standard girl flirtiness. But if guys are flirty, like an ENFP girl is flirty, uh, it's seen as kind of, I think it gets into the territory of fuckboy a little bit. Excuse the language for any of you who are sensitive. You don't think you look that happy in your second grade photo? I was always happy. Constantly happy. But you're an INTJ, aren't you? You're supposed to not be happy. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I didn't say that. I promise. That didn't slip out of. Nope. I see that more people have come in. Say hello. Let me know who you are. Didn't know you had the issue until you watched it. Um, yeah, we have a problem with fantasizing. I hope that if you watch that video, you related to what I was trying to say. Because I was just trying to break down how it happens because it's happening so naturally. I never really took the time to break down what was happening and why it was happening. Um, so it was kind of a moment of introspection for me, and I wanted to share it with you guys and see if anyone else related to it because I thought it might be helpful for other people. Oh, it's ENFP. Um, when did I find out? When I was 16. Um, I took a test and I found out I was ENFP, and I didn't really think of anything of it. And then about 5 years later, I started thinking about cognitive functions and what that actually meant. And I started questioning my type. And I thought for a while I might be an INFP, or that I might be an INFJ, or that I might be an ENTP, or that I don't even know. I thought I was maybe even like an ISFJ. I thought I could have been a whole lot of things. Um, but ultimately, I'm very confident that ENFP is like my main person. I even thought I was ISTJ for a while too, because I get in modes where I'm very much so like an ISTJ, but I'm not. I'm only sometimes like an ISTJ. I think I just really wanted to be an INFJ, because who doesn't want to be an INFJ? I mean, let's be real. Well, I'm glad uh, you could relate, Mike. What's the most helpful thing that I found from understanding my type? The most helpful thing that I found out is why I never get anything done, and why I look for certain things and then don't ever get them. Like, I found out that I was fantasizing a lot and not being realistic. And I found out that, I struggle to plan things, and I found out why. And it helped me be able to put more focus into that, into planning and structuring my life enough where I could still be free to be myself and have fun. Um, but not, just being a ball of air like a balloon floating in the sky and never being grounded to anything. Okay, well, thanks for coming by, Mike. Thank you. Have a great day. Are ENFPs hopeless romantics? I think most are, probably. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but yeah. Yep, exactly. In those dark moments, we can definitely come off as an ISTJ. Are you asking me how to become more pragmatic, or if that was like a summation of what I said about what I learned about being an ENFP? Yeah, and that's really just what happens when you start studying MBTI, is that you think you know what your type is and you think you're really confident about it. And then you start learning about the cognitive functions, and you have to question everything you know about personality, break it all down, and try to figure it out again from a new perspective. And it's rough. Like I said, I went through a lot of types that I thought I was. Um, it's a journey, but it's not ultimately important, I don't think, that you find out what exactly your type is, but that you find like the things that you struggle with and how to be better at them. Ooh, Mustafa, that's a great question. I do really think that MBTI is a good thing. However, I am concerned about the application people will have for it, um, because it just like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here for that, but MBTI has kind of become a lot like a religion. People are like, Carl Jung is God and everything he said is 100% accurate. And if anybody else says anything that disagrees with Carl Jung or isn't 100% in line with that original document that Carl Jung had written up, that, it's incorrect. So it's a hard question to answer, honestly, but I do think overall it's good, and I do wish more people knew about it, specifically for communication purposes, um, because I think that on the 2 deciding axes, especially, like the extroverted thinkers and the extroverted feelers, there is a lot of miscommunication that happens between the 2 because when one person says it, they mean something different than when the other person says it, and if you could understand that some people are TE and some people are FE, it would, I think, make communication a lot better because we would take a lot less things personally. But ultimately, I guess what I want is for people to take things less personally. And I guess you don't really technically need MBTI for that. Tips for planning and structuring your day. Yes, bullet journaling. Bullet journaling, bullet journaling. The more that I bullet journal and when I'm really keeping up with it is when I'm actually cleaning and when I'm actually keeping up with my chores and when I'm actually accomplishing things. And when I stop doing it, I get lazy and I don't do it. So bullet journaling helps a lot because it's a nice creative outlet and it also helps you structure without, like, you get to choose how much structure goes into a bullet journal. It's not like somebody else put up a plan and created it for you. You created 100% yourself. Um, and therefore you can change it and adapt it every week to whatever you need at the time. So I really like bullet journaling, and it's the way that I keep myself structured. Um, Okay, yeah. So I used to fantasize all the time and be like in my fantasy world. And over time, I've learned to be more realistic. I still struggle with it, but I do think it's better. Like, for example, at my work, I had a situation recently um, where I wanted to think about the best case scenario. I wanted to think about how I was going to help everybody make their lives better and how I was going to make the workplace a better place. And I had all these plans, and then, reality came in and was like, Michelle, why are you making plans for things that you know are not going to happen and building up hopes for things that you know aren't going to happen when I could have focused my energy on you know, making the most of what I had and being more realistic in my goals. I think I could have accomplished more by being more realistic and short-term focused than I was. Um, so I'm still working on it, I guess is my answer. uh, Psychedelics, I mean, for the most part, they're pretty cool, but it's not like I take them often. I've only uh, had a few sparse uh, what is it called? A few sparse experiences. That's the word. Mustafa, you said it's kind of stupid in the way it tries to tell you what to do and what not to do. Are you saying MBTI is like that? Exactly, progenitor. Exactly. Just trying to be realistic enough to where I can accomplish more. Like being able to see how reality is so I can actually accomplish my visions as opposed to just having a bunch of visions and never accomplishing any of them. Um, Speaking of visions and accomplishing them, NaNoWriMo is one of those ways that I've learned how to accomplish goals because the whole setup of NaNoWriMo is, if you have never heard of it, is you have a month to write a rough draft of a novel. And the goal is to hit 50,000 words in the 30 days. Um, so, what I have been able to do by doing it 10 times, I think it's more than 10 now, No, I think it is exactly 10. Is I actually can write a novel in a month. I've done it 3 times now. Um, this year I wrote way more than 50,000. I've like written more than 74,000 now. So in a month. So it's really helped me find realistic ways to accomplish goals by taking advantage of the way that my mind works, which is in burst energy. And so by building up and waiting to write, I actually have more energy to write because I've prolonged the gratification. I'm not writing all the time. I'm not getting disheartened. I'm writing in a burst, which is extremely satisfying because I am able to actually accomplish it. And it's stuff like that that helps a person like me. You know, you have to learn how your mind works and how you can gratify your mind, so that you can really like actually accomplish what you want to accomplish. What question would I ask if I were watching this stream? Um, Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's hard. I guess I put a lot of pressure on you guys, didn't I? You guys must come up with all the questions. Did I ever do any of those? No. I have never done any of those. Though I did work with a guy who had an addiction to the first one, and then a girl who had tried the second one and had a kind of mental breakdown afterwards. But that's about as close of my experience with those drugs as I have ever had. You know, that's a great question. I've thought about putting more music on my channel, but I think that I want to have a separate channel for just my music. So you guys can follow both, but then, you know to expect just music from that channel and then my other hobbies from this channel. Um, because I think that will keep the audiences engaged without like, you know, alienating anyone or whatever. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Oh, thanks, Co Paloma. That's really nice to hear. How do I try to become more realistic? Oh, that is such a rough question. um, I think it just takes a lot of experience to become more realistic, at least for me. It takes having these big ideals and watching them not happen where I'm like, okay, something's not working. I have to figure out what's not working and how to fix it because I'm constantly being disappointed, because I have these grand ideas, these grand dreams, and then nothing ever comes of them. So I think that by seeing things not work out has helped me become more realistic. I know that's kind of bleak and maybe not very helpful. um, but that's all I can really think of as to how I became more realistic. Um, and I try to force myself to think about how things are actually going to go. Like I think about what I want to happen. That happens naturally. I can't stop myself from thinking about what I want to happen. But then I try to think about what actually is going to happen. Trying to figure out what's the most likely real outcome of what's happening right now. And that's how I try to be more realistic, is finding a middle ground between the idealized situation and what's probably really going to happen. I've been really trying to force myself to think more about what's actually going to happen and being realistic about that, so I don't let my fantasies like overtake me. Oh, wow. um, Would I rather smoke 100? I would not want to smoke 100 cigarettes. So I would, even though that'd be rough, 100 hours of not going outside, um, is a long time. That's a long time, but I think I would still rather do that than smoke 100 cigarettes in an hour. Yeah, Ian, That is something that I think is a huge criticism of MBTI in general is that we are and we are horoscopes. Um, like, if my personality were a horoscope, it would not be the horoscope that I have. Like, I don't think an ENFP makes sense as a Virgo at all, but I am a Virgo, and I have some of those classic, traits. I don't know if I have the traits of a Virgo because I know what a Virgo is, and I used to be kinda into horoscopes when I was in high school, or if I actually am already like that. It's hard to know which came first, the chicken or the egg, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you could do it. You could do it. I could do it somehow. Or we can just leave out 4 types, that's fine. Or we could call each of the horoscopes all the same type. Are there any types that I don't connect with on a social or mental level? I think that there are people that I struggle with getting, like, really connected to, but I think I'm pretty good at figuring out how philosophical I can make a conversation and how engaged I'm going to feel in a conversation with somebody. Um, there are types where it feels like it's more difficult to have those kind of conversations, so I have to have different kinds of conversations. Like, for example, with this ESTP I work or not ESTP, ESTJ that I work with, talking about society is just not something that's very interesting to him. Um, I've tried kind of branching out into those kind of conversations, but he's just so realistic and grounded in what's actually happening and reality that he doesn't want to talk about those things. He wants to talk about the issues that he's dealing with now, which I can understand and respect, but it's not as engaging for me, like intellectually. So I guess you could say that like stuff like that can be kind of where I don't connect as much on, but I still connect to him in general. Like we have a good rapport. We're able to make jokes with each other. We enjoy each other's company, but it's just not I don't feel like totally fully engaged when I have a conversation with him. I sit inside for more than 100 hours. That's funny. I work from home, so I do sit inside a whole lot, but I get very stir crazy. And I will make excuses like I need to go to the store and get a pack of gum so that I can leave my house. Oh, a Sagittarius. Ooh. What animal would an ENFP be? A puppy, 100%. Um, what's my favorite music right now? I can post the playlist later in the description, or maybe I can just post it in the chat. Hold on, I'll just post a playlist that I've been listening to of like all my favorite music lately, if it'll load. Um, let me see if I can get a link to that really fast. Copy, share, copy link. There we go. Here's the music that I've been listening to lately. It's on Spotify. I don't know if you guys watch Spotify or listen to Spotify, but that's my favorite music streaming service. So, a woodpecker. Oh my god, that could work, I guess. Oh, uh, can any imagine sensations? Yeah, I think anyone can. Um, like I can imagine what it would feel like, but it's just not as like vivid as reality. I don't know. Are people able to imagine things as if it's as vivid as reality? I don't know. My old dreams, like when I was younger, I didn't used to have any physical sensation in my dreams except for like that feeling when you're falling, like you know that feeling in your chest, like when you're falling. That's the most like physical feeling I ever felt in a dream until I was much older. I don't know if that matters. If that is if that's helpful or realistic or what would be most likely to be a sociopath? Do we even need to know? I mean, question this. That'd be the INTJ for sure. Just kidding. That's a stereotype. You guys. Maybe like a ESTJ, ESTP. Actually, probably an ESTP could be a psychopath. I mean, an ENFP could be a psychopath too. It just, I mean, it wouldn't be as likely, I don't think, statistically. Am I into crystals? No. My mom is, but I'm not. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I did play around with tarot cards for a while, but I don't really like believe they have power to actually tell the future or whatever. I don't feel like crystals really have the power to heal people. Um, I want to believe in that stuff, like I really do, but I just can't. I hope you like my music. Yeah, I've tried to learn how to lucid dream. That was actually a goal of mine for quite a while was to learn how to lucid dream. Uh, I was only successful like for half of a second in a dream, so it's a win. Ooh, Charles Manson, that's interesting. That was the guy in California, right? I could see it. Are they? Uh, Cross the um That's kind of like a generalized statement, but I think that we are more likely to than other types, for sure. I would say that I was, but my little sister was more of a tomboy than me, and still is. Um, but I mean, I definitely was when I was a kid. I was like climbing trees. I was always outside, um, digging in the mud and just like playing with the guys in the neighborhood. But I don't know if it was because my neighborhood was mostly guys that I was more like a tomboy, or if I actually already was and I just happened to be in a neighborhood with a lot of guys. Yeah, tarot is really good for self-reflection because it's how you react to the cards that you get and what they say that tells you a lot about, what you're thinking about and what you want. So it can be really good for self-reflection. But telling the future, no, I don't believe in that. Some people do, and that's fine. Oh, you might have to tell me where I can get one. I There's this book that read. It's called Conscious Dreaming, and bye, Timmy. and it teaches you like this guy's way of like how he calls it conscious dreaming, not lucid dreaming, but being like aware of what you're dreaming and being able to re-enter dreams. And he talks about how dreams are the story your mind is trying to tell. Um, and so that it's important to access your dreams and be aware of what's going on. So I really like that book and I was practicing that for a while. I have a dream journal next to my bed, I just don't use it very often. I have a dream every night, I just haven't been writing them down lately. Oh, that's interesting. You have selective empathy. I think that's fair because every person only has so much empathy that they can give away, and so you shouldn't be giving it away all the time to everybody if that's not something that you can mentally or emotionally handle. Um, I would say that that's healthy emotionally. I don't know. Some people might call that psychopathic. Um, do I have things that I think are psychopathic about me? I have thoughts that are kind of psychopathic, but I never act on them. So I would say sometimes my thoughts can be psychopathic. Yeah, his name is Robert Moss, I think, the guy who wrote the book on conscious dreaming. It's very interesting and it's very helpful if that's something you guys want to learn how to do. I would highly recommend. His like to break down the method that he uses. Essentially, you start by writing down your dreams because you have to know that they're happening and you have to know what's happening in the dreams to be aware of them. Um, and then like having things that are like tells that you can see and recognize immediately that it is a dream. And then you can take advantage of the fact that it's a dream. And he also has a whole section on astral projection, but he doesn't call it astral projection. But he talks about all this, like the sensations that people have before astral projection. Um, so that's pretty cool if that's something you're interested in. Astral projection is like lucid dreaming 2.0. It's like the next step past lucid dreaming. Let me know how it goes. I think that could be interesting. Maybe I could make a video about trying to conscious dream. I don't know. I could do video reports about what my dreams were. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't work. I don't know. Oh wow, okay. That makes sense because it's in your mind, it's in your mentality before you go to bed. That makes sense. Would I say that Robert Moss is an ENFP? I haven't watched enough of videos about him, but I don't think so. Let me get back to you on that. I don't know what his type would be. I haven't done enough research on that. Thanks. I'm so excited. I just can't even believe it. I don't know if you guys know this, but January 1st, I set a goal that I want to hit 1,000 subscribers within the year. And I've doubled that already, and it hasn't even been a year. So that's pretty crazy. Oh, that's cool, Cedric. Does he talk to you about it? Have you ever tried it? Oh, David Dobrik? Who's that? Dobrik. What's my Enneagram? It is a 9. Kind of a 2, but more of a 9. Which isn't very stereotypical for an ENFP, because normally they're all 7s, and that's the stereotype. All right, well, thanks for coming in. I know it's kind of late for people in Europe, but I wanted, or like even in the Middle East, but I wanted to have a good time where it wasn't too early on the West Coast and it wasn't too late where you guys are. I'm glad you were able to make it. Oh, cool. I'm not alone. There's another one. Yep. That's pretty much a 7-wing 6 is kind of like the stereotype of an ENFP. You know, something that I think people don't realize about ENFPs is we can actually be really stickler for the rules. I think that that's a funny stereotype that we break. We don't seem like people, we seem like people who want to break the rules, but we in fact always want to follow the rules. Like we're actually like constantly telling people that they need to follow the rules. It's pretty bad actually. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, okay. So you can consciously dream sometimes and take control of what's going on, but not often. Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. A 9 and a 7. You know, I think that there are probably more 9 ENFPs out there than people realize, to be honest. But people would immediately make the assumption that we're either a 7 or a 4. And if you guys don't really know Enneagram, I mean, I'm sure these numbers just kind of sound like random numbers, but I mean, it's worth looking into because Enneagram just tells you what's wrong with you emotionally, like what emotional issues you have. Mine, fear of conflict, like such excessive fear of conflict that I avoid it at like all costs, and it makes me really uncomfortable when it happens. And it's something that I've had to really work on throughout the years of my life is how to address conflict. And even still, I will put off things indefinitely to avoid conflict. Yeah, I don't know the wings either. I can see you being a 5. That makes a lot of sense. 5s are cool. We need more 5s in the world, people who actually want to understand things. But guys, my throat is kind of getting tired from talking for so long. Do you guys have any final things you want to say before we go? Because I'm getting to that point where I need some water and I want to get writing. I still haven't written anything today, and it's the last day of NaNoWriMo, so I want to finish it out strong and try to get to 80,000. We'll see. That's my goal. 80,000 words. Yep, INTJ 513, nice. I have not specifically studied that, no. You know, in the comments, you should post a bunch of links for me, please. Okay, I'll look it up. Thanks. I'm excited. This year is going to be amazing. I'm going to put out a bunch of different stuff. My goal for my channel moving forward is to not have everything be about MBTI and to talk about things that are maybe, a little bit uncomfortable to talk about and push people to be more open and honest by being open and honest myself. That's what I want to do with my channel. I want to go back to my roots a little bit and be more artistic. But I am probably going to start a channel separate from this for my music, just so that it's all in one place. And people who join for my music only get music and don't get all the other content that they're probably not going to watch. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this whole stream. It's amazing that you guys all came out and said hello and hung out with me, and that there are 2,000 people who have clicked the little subscribe button to my channel, my little tiny channel. Thanks so much for subscribing. I am just so eternally grateful. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's just whoosh, my mind is blown. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. Let's keep going. Let's keep having fun together and producing more content. And as a reminder, next week, this time, I'm going to be doing a video with an ISTP, which is going to be really fun. He's a great guy. I think it'll be a really great time. I hope you guys can come to that stream and ask a bunch of questions, because we got to take advantage of the ISTP coming out of their quiet little place. I know. I'll need to bring water to that conversation. I can't do this again. Thank you, guys. Oh, wow. ENFJ? That's interesting. You gotta love these online tests. I swear sometimes I don't even know how they come up with their answers or their questions or any of that. But anyway, I'm going to leave. Thank you guys so much for coming. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.